G'day everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of a 3-part series of our trip along the Great Ocean Road. In this episode, we travelled from Adelaide through to the Great Ocean Road Memorial Arch. Hope you enjoy the scenery and the sights, because we certainly did. So let's get the show on the road. Well, night number 1. We have made it to Willalooka. We're at the free campground. Some old tennis courts. We did attempt to go and have a beer at the tavern, Willalooka Tavern, but it's closed on Mondays. So we are resorting to our own beers. That's fine. Anyway, we're at night number 1. We staying here tonight and moving on to Hamilton in Victoria tomorrow. So we're about to have tea. So we'll probably see you in the morning. Good morning. We have had a wonderful night here at the Willalooka. At Willalooka. It's a free campground in their sort of sporting complex. Bit of cricket, bit of hockey by the looks. It was a cold night. It was like 5 degrees, I think, at 6:45 this morning. I've got up, had a bit of a walk around, and the sun's sort of breaking through now, so it is warming up. But yes, it was a shame we couldn't get a beer at the little tavern that's here, but never mind. There's always next time, right? Well, I probably should explain, we are going to do the Great Ocean Road. So today we're actually going to Hamilton, having a couple of nights there in Victoria, and sort of just over the border. And then we will, must be about Thursday, I think, we're heading to Barwon Heads Caravan Park for our first sort of 3 nights. And then we're just going to take our time driving down the coast, and then we've got a little bit of time, that we'll find some free camps somewhere, low cost camps, and we'll just mosey on home. We've got 3 weeks. So yeah, looking forward to it. We've got Jean and Steve with us. Caravan trip, as you've seen, and yeah, looking forward to it. First night away, reasonable sleep. Anyway, it must be brekkie time to boil the kettle, have a coffee, so we'll head back there. See you a bit later. Lunch stop. We are just outside of Narracourt, just south of Narracourt in fact. We are on our way to Hamilton. We've just stopped in Narracourt, caught up with some good mate of mine and some family for Steve and Jean, and we've caught having lunch at Fatherwood's Park. We've got some wood carvings here, so we'll have a look at these. Very clever people. This is Father Woods and Mary McKillop, who's quite famous down these parts, particularly at Penola. far of the woods in different, doing different things. Seems like he was a bit of a jack of all trades. Bush priest, cave explorer, number of different things. But yeah, it's a good little park, good little carvings that they've done. Good morning. Well, I haven't been videoing for a couple of days because we did stop and have 2 days at Joe's uncle and auntie's, a bit of a farm stay, I guess you could call it that, at Hamilton, and didn't want to invade on their privacy and that, so I didn't do any videoing, but had a great time having a look around Pete and Sue's farm. We did chuck some yabby nets in, but in one of his dams, but didn't have any success, and caught up with Tony and Helen as well. So yeah, no, so that was a good 2 days, but yeah, didn't do any videoing. But we have now arrived in Barwon Heads Caravan Park. So I've just come for a little bit of a walk this morning. This is actually Friday morning, the day after we arrived, because yesterday it bucketed down, so it got saturated sort of setting up, and just went and had some tea at a pub last night. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to get any more rain, fingers crossed anyway. But yeah, anyway, we are sort of the start of the Great Ocean Road, and we're going to have a look around this area today, and then and tomorrow, and then move on the next day. So looking forward to that. So yeah, we are only just a hop, skip and a jump from the foreshore here. Tide is out. It was right up to the wall here last night. But yeah, we're only just down this little walkway. And just over there, so can't complain about that. So yeah, this is our side at Barwon Heads Caravan Park. We're good location. We've got sort of toilet block down there, and sea just through there. Steve and Gina just next to us there. But yeah, nice, reasonable size blocks, sites. We're not real level, but anyway, it'll do. So, time to go exploring. The first place we explored today was Point Lonsdale, which is on the tip of the Bellarine Peninsula. There is a lighthouse here, which was actually used to guide the ships through, some of the big ships, through the treacherous waters here of the Rip, which leads into Port Phillip Bay. We had lunch down at one of the local cafes, and then we decided to have a bit of a walk out onto the jetty. We made it out to the end of the jetty. It was a little bit windy, but as we were standing there, we could see a freighter coming through the heads there into Port Phillip Bay through the Rip. We could also see the ferry that goes from Queenscliff through to Sorrento as well, across the bay. Well, we've come around the bay a little bit further. We're at Queenscliff now. That's sort of about where we were earlier at Point Lonsdale. And then you got the rip through there into Port Phillip Bay. Point Nepean over on the far side. There's actually two lighthouses here at Queenscliff. This is the white lighthouse. There is also a black lighthouse. But along with these and the steel girders that you can see there, they're used to guide the ships through the rip into Port Phillip Bay. Yeah, well, we're sort of moving further around the bay. And we've come to St Leonard's now. Nice jetty there by the looks. Got town up behind us. Just had a coffee up there. But we can see, if I just come back over this way a little bit, can actually see Melbourne through there in the distance. Might not pick that up on the camera, but back at the Caravan Park now. We've just come for a walk over the bluff here. The waves are pounding in on this side. So tide is in. Well, day 2 of our exploring mission. We are heading down the Great Ocean Road today, and we are currently at Banura Beach. I think it's Banura Surf Life Saving Club. Obviously the surfing beach. There's a few surfers out there. But yes, we've started our track down the Great Ocean Road. We're heading to Torquay this morning. And we've come from way over there somewhere. Well, we have just come through to Torquay. We've had a bit of a walk around the farmers market. Picked up some chilli that we're interested to take or try. This is Fisherman's Beach. This is the Torquay Mainie.
Busy for a Saturday morning.
I've just come round to Point Danger, just looking back to Torquay there. A few people learning to surf, I think, down there. There's a few people on hydrofoils out there, stand-up paddle boards and so forth. Looks like there's a bit of an Anzac sort of memorial up here as well. Bit of reef. So we've just come round to Jan Juk and we're at Bird Rock Lookout. A few surfers out there. definitely looks like to be the surf beach. Well, we've made it to Bells Beach, the famous Bells Beach. Got a few surfers out there. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like a swimming beach. Clearly a good surfing beach. Well, we've come through to Anglesey today, and we're at the Anglesey Lookout. Trees up here need a bit of a trim to get the most of the view, but you can see out to the little bay there. And then in the other direction over here, we just had lunch at the Anglesey pub. Chance to watch a bit of the Crows play, who are beating the Bombers at the moment. And I think that'll do for our exploring today. So we'll start to make our way back to Barwon Heads. Well, this morning we have left Barwon Heads and we are travelling to Skeens Creek, and along the Great Ocean Road, of course, and here we are at the memorial, the arch, if you want to call it that, to the Great Ocean Road. So here's a little bit of a story about the Great Ocean Road. It does commemorate the Victorians that served in the First World War. There's a little bit of a picture there of a toll gate that was at Grassy Creek, and what the road originally looked like. And then you got some blokes down here on the pick and shovels, and the campsite here of the servicemen that actually built the road. And the story goes that can't remember who it was, but it was inspired by a French drive. Somewhere in France, someone was driving through the French countryside and admired what they had done, and then when they came back to Australia did a similar sort of thing here. So thanks for watching episode 1. In episode 2 we make our way to Skeens Creek Caravan Park and set ourselves up there and have a look around that area. We then move on to Port Campbell and we stay a few days in that area looking around as well. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, see you in the next one.